Hello, and welcome back to another video. So we're going to be doing the Stanley Parable. I'm going to be playing this game and sharing it with you guys. So if you haven't played the Stanley Parable, you're in luck, basically. Like, this is an amazing game that came out in 2013. I played it once back then and haven't played it since, so I still don't fully know exactly all the twists and turns, but it's a very small game with a lot to it. I mean, it makes you think. It makes you think about video games. It makes you think about a lot of things. So this is going to be a multi-part series on my channel, something new. So let's go ahead and take a look at it.
So let's just go ahead and begin the game and experience the Stanley Parable. The end is never, the end is never, the end is never. Interesting. The loading is forever. I almost expect for the bar to go backwards.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wonder if I can open any of these doors. Nope. That's interesting. Those walls are cinder block walls. And that's 4B6. That's very odd. 4B5. Wait. 4B6? As in 4 will become 6? And 4 will become 5? That's interesting. What? Did someone escape? That's interesting. Really strange. Spilled coffee. I hate Mondays. I wonder if I can close this door. Oh, I can. Okay. Interesting, it opens the opposite way. Locked. That's odd. A coffee mug on a desk chair. What time is that? Huh. Oh, there's more cinder block walls. Very odd. We're in an office building. Interesting. Looks like industrial cables. 4B3. 4B3.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Entered the door on my left. What's the number on this door? No number. No numbers. Interesting. All the other doors had numbers. Oh, we're locked in. That's interesting. Papers on the floor. Very bright computer screen. There's cathode. Oh, that looks like the computer screen from the other room. Very bright.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Somebody died? Weird. Jim? Jim Halpert? Recycled ideas, that's hilarious. The doors keep locking behind us. I don't like that. Ooh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Very industrial.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
He's getting a little pushy, isn't he?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh, so bright. Where are we? Very strange. Reminds me of The Shining. Red rum. Red rum. Whoa. Is that a camera in the corner?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
This is weird.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Hey, that is the logo right there for Stanley Parable. Interesting. That is a legit trap door right there, hidden door. Wow. Where are we? This is bizarre. Whoa. What? Oh my god. Ah! I feel like this is like a nightmare scape right here. Alright. Loading, loading, loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Is that fog? Or is that dust?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape? What? Weird. There's another camera. We're being filmed. What is this, like the Truman Show? Ooh, what's gonna happen now?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I guess we do. Let's go. Oh boy.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Wow.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Okay.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
The end is never the end. Okay, all right. We've seen that. We've seen that before. front. Or back.
Alright, there you go. That's the gameplay. That's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, definitely come back to this channel for the next part. That should be coming up, I would say, within the next few days or a week. So, once again, I thank you so much for watching my videos, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.